Hey guys, welcome to day one of our 7-day series to a healthier back. Today we're going to start out with just trying to find the proper alignment for our back to go through some of these movements. We're going to need a yoga strap, which I've got here. You can also use a towel or a t-shirt, anything to help stretch the hamstrings. That's what we're going to use it for. So go ahead and find one of those and we'll get started. So we're going to start out with some just warm-up exercises so we can get the spine, the back, just kind of ready to go. We're going to go into some strengthening work after that, and we're going to finish up with a little bit of flexibility, some stretches. That's going to be really quick. This is designed to kind of be added on top of one of your workouts, or you can do it whenever you first wake up in the morning to get loose, and you can also do it in the evening before you go to bed to kind of have a nice relaxing end to your day. So we're going to start with, like I said, some warm-up exercises. Let's get the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees under the hips. And like I said, today we're going to focus mostly on just finding space in the spine. So a lot of times you'll see people in positions like this, but they'll be kind of like collapsing into their shoulders, or their back will be a little arched or rounded. So we are going to do something like that, but it's going to be part of an exercise. To get into a neutral spine, you want to pretend, what I like to do is I pretend I have somebody standing in front of me and behind me, and they're both holding on to an end of a rope, and that rope is going from the crown of my head all the way through my body, out through my tailbone there, and the other person's holding on to the other side. So they're kind of gently pulling that rope, so I'm getting traction within my spine and just getting really nice and long. And then from here, we're going to extend our left leg out, toes down on the ground, right arm forward, and keep that length. Try not to let that throw you off too much, and try to push down through your right foot also. Then we're going to lift that left leg up, but keep your sit bones kind of pushing back towards your heels there. Don't let your back arch too much. All right, so leg out, arm forward, and then from here we're going to turn the core on, and we breathe it out. Bring the knee and elbow in, breathe it in, out long. So let's repeat a couple of those. We're not trying to round or arch the back too much. You can also, whenever you come back in the middle, put the hand and knee down. Let's go 2 more. And then this last one, we're going to hold it out and just find that nice long spine and lower. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So right leg out, left arm forward, turn the core on, lift that back leg, deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to pull in, breathe it out on the way out. Try not to collapse into that right arm too much, and keep your core pulled up. Okay, let's go 2 more. If you lose your balance, it's okay. And on your next one, hold that arm and leg out, get really long through the spine. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, bring both hand and knee down. Okay, so we're going to stay in our tabletop position here with a neutral spine. And this is where we're going to add kind of the arching and the rounding. So a little cat-cow here. So core is pulled up. We're going to move with the breath here. So we're going to breathe it in, arch the back, slightly look up, but we're still trying to keep a little bit of length through our lower spine. So don't arch so much that you're like crunched up back there, right? Just lightly arch. Breathe it in, expand the belly, breathe it out, pull the belly button up, broaden through the shoulders, and push through the feet there. Breathe it in and out. Now, I think it's really easy to get kind of carried away with these movements and really kind of jam yourself into them. Try not to do that, right? We would just want to be nice and easy here. Be kind to the body. This really isn't meant to be a workout. This is kind of, like I said before, an accessory. This is just to keep our body healthy so we can get through our workouts and so that we can stand up in the morning and not feel like it's going to take us 20 minutes to stand up straight without any pain. Okay, let's get one more of these. Still part of our warm-up. Okay, then we're going to get back into our neutral spine. I'm going to bring my hands about a handprint forward, so it's slightly extended. And then I'm going to breathe it out, sit back on the heels, extended child pose. And then on your next breath in, breathe it in, come back up. Breathe it out, down. We're just going to move through this a couple times. Okay, on your next one, let's sit back and just hold that child's pose for a couple seconds. Try to have active arms here. So we're really going to reach our hands forward, but don't let the shoulders kind of crunch up towards the ears. Try to keep your shoulders still plugged back a little bit. So there's kind of opposing forces going on there. Deep breath in, feel your back stretch with that breath. And on your exhale, let's go ahead and bring it up. We're gonna get into some strengthening exercises next. So like I said, this is really quick. You could go through it a couple times if you really wanted to. But strengthening exercises next, we're going for a plank. So if you have issues with your wrist, you can always do this down on your elbows. But we're gonna go ahead and set up on the hands, shoulders over the wrist here. And then we're gonna step back into our plank, feet about hip width distance. And what I see a lot with plank is people kind of like relaxing into it too much, you know, like kind of falling into the shoulders. Try to push out of the mat there and broaden through the shoulders a little bit. And the whole time we're keeping the hips not up, but they're lifted, right? They're not sinking down. Strong hips. We're turning the quads on, turning the glutes on, and then we're trying to pull up through our core there. We're not necessarily tucking the tailbone like that, but we're just squeezing up through the core. We're going to hold this for about 10 more seconds. Just try to breathe into it and keep your neck in line with your spine. Don't let your head fall down like this. All right, we want to have a nice, healthy back. Let's hold it for 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're going to lower down to the mat. And we're going to go for some baby cobras here. So this is really going to work into our lower back, but we're also going to focus on keeping our shoulder blades pulled back and down. So hands are going to be kind of next to our lower ribs here. And then we want those elbows peeled back. And from here, we're going to press down through our feet. Breathe it in, slightly lift up, keeping a long neck, long spine. Breathe it out, come back down. Breathe it in. We're turning on the upper back by rolling the shoulder blades back and down, and we're working into our lower back muscles there. Now today we're going to keep our hands down on the mat for this one, but if you've done this and you feel good and you know you can do it, then go ahead and lift your hands a little bit, but I'm going to keep my hands down. Let's get a couple more. And imagine that spine just gaining length. Lots of space through it. Okay, this next one we're going to come up and hold it for about 10 seconds. So lift. So this one we're going to breathe through, trying to have nice, even breathing. Long spine. Try not to crunch up in the lower back too much. Let's go for 5, 3, 2, 1. Coming down. Okay, so let's push ourselves up and we're going to flip it over onto our back. Now we're going to get a little bit of core work because your core really wraps all the way around. So in order to have a healthy back, we need to realize how to do core work properly. So a lot of times I see people do core work, and even I do it sometimes, everybody's guilty of it, of arching your back. and you really want to try to prevent that. So let's lift both legs up, hands down by the side, and try to just plaster your back to the mat, right? All the way from the crown of your head, all the way out through the tailbone. It's as flat as you can get it, right? And then while we're trying to keep that form, we're pulling the core in, but we're not tucking the tailbone, just pulling it in, right? So you should automatically feel the core turn on there. And then we're gonna drop one leg at a time. Down nice and slow, back up. I like to breathe it in and out. There's really no right or wrong way to breathe. Like I tell people, as long as you're breathing, you're good. Just try to make it even. And if you feel your back arching, say you get to here and you feel your back start to arch, then you should stop there. And that's okay. Just work on that for a little bit until you feel like you can go a little bit lower. Okay, we're gonna give it a couple more. I have days where I can get all the way down to the ground, and then I have other days where like my body's a little tired and I can only go about halfway, or say you're at the end of a workout and you're already really tired and you feel your back arching. It's okay. All right, couple more. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's bend the knees. We can hug the knees into the chest. We're gonna go into our stretching portion next. So we are gonna roll ourselves up and flipping it around. We have a hip flexor stretch first, because a lot of times tight lower backs especially come from tight glutes, tight hamstrings, and tight psoas muscles up in the front there, your hip flexors. So I'm gonna turn this way. We're gonna get our right leg forward and lunge up into that. But we're gonna get, my balance. We're gonna get that right knee, try to get it right over your right ankle if you can, and your back foot can be flat or lifted. Either or is fine. And then while you're here, so I can feel myself like sinking into my lower back, try to lift up through it a little bit, right? Get that energy lifted, right? So we're finding space through the lower back. So that automatically will make you feel that stretch a whole lot more right there through your quad and up through your hip flexor. We can just hold it here. We're gonna add on to this one over the next few days. This is a really good spot to be. Just try to breathe into it. And today we're gonna stay upright with it. Okay, let's take a big deep breath in together. And on the exhale, we're gonna pull back. And we're gonna lift up on the toes there. The toes are gonna be lifted. And this one, just naturally, your right hip is gonna wanna pull forward. Try to plug that right hip thigh bone back in, right? So pull it back, even out the hips. And that way you should feel the hamstring all the way down through the calf turn on pretty good. And today we're gonna practice with a long spine. So I'm bent over a little bit, but that's because I think I can mostly keep a flat back right here. Sometimes you might need to be lifted, like holding on to maybe some yoga blocks or something to keep a nice flat back. So we're trying to keep space in the spine, like I said. Okay, let's roll that foot forward, and we're gonna switch sides over to the left leg. Left knee on top of left ankle. And then again, you don't want to crunch into that back. You want to lift up. So you pull back through that left hip. Grow nice and tall through the spine. And it really helps sometimes to like record yourself or have a mirror in front of you, or have someone take a picture of you. It helps because sometimes it feels like you look one way and you really look another way. Okay, so we're getting into that right hip flexor. And then let's pull back, stretching through that right hamstring. We're pulling back through the left hamstring, pulling back through the left hip, plugging it in. And stretching is one of those things that's going to look different for everybody because people are at such different levels with it. So if you need to have a little bend into your knee and you need to be lifted, well, that's okay. All right, let's roll through that foot. We're going to bring it back and we're going to go ahead and sit back, getting our right leg out long. I'm actually going to go this way. We're going to get our right leg out long and then grow nice and tall through your spine. Try to plug down into it. Lift the arms up and turn your body towards your right leg there. Breathe it out. Come down over that leg. So wherever your arms, your hands naturally fall, you can be upright and just work on that. You can come down to the shins or you can go ahead and grab the foot. But all the while try to keep that long, flat back. And just breathe into it. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So now I'll get the left leg out, right foot to the inside of the inner thigh, plug down through the core, right through the core line, breathe it in, breathe it out, fall down over that leg. And like I said, today we're going to try to keep that long, long spine. There'll be days where we can round over, but today we're just going to focus on keeping length. Couple deep breaths in and out. We've got just a couple more stretches. Okay, from here, we're going to go ahead and lay down on our back, and let's bring our right ankle to our left knee here, and you can just hold it here if you feel like it's enough. We're trying to get into our right hip, so you can just, like I said, hold it here, kind of pushing against that right knee just a little bit if it feels good. Or we can reach through the window and grab onto the back of the thigh there or onto the top of the shin. Now here we're trying to keep active feet, so we're flexing our feet, pulling our toes back, and we're trying to slightly press our right knee open just a little bit. I always have really tight hips and I have trouble trying to relax into these poses. So if you're like me, just try to take a big deep breath in, and on that exhale, just let everything go. All right, try to feel the hip muscles open up and relax. Okay, from here, we're gonna drop that left foot down and we're gonna grab onto our yoga strap or rope, whatever you have, and we're gonna get that around the right foot. Lifting that up. I promise we'll do the other side, but we're gonna do this first. So we're gonna lift this leg up, and I'm trying to activate my quad right here so that my hamstring can really release. And also, whenever you have your right leg up like this, you have a tendency for your right hip to want to pop up with it. Try to plug your right hip down into the mat. We're gonna hold it here. If this feels too easy, you can always take your left leg out long, and it's gonna make it a little bit harder. Pull back, pull those toes back towards your face. You can feel it stretch all the way. I can even feel it stretch all the way through my feet. But I have issues with my feet, so that's why. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So release that. Now we're gonna get the left ankle to the right knee. Reach through the window. You can either just hold it here or reach through the window with me. Breathing through. We're almost done. I know that, like, personally, whenever I first started working out, I was all about, like, working out really hard, and stretching wasn't a workout, yoga wasn't a workout. I'm really starting to realize, as I felt my body fight against everything, I'm realizing how important it is. So let's get that strap onto our left foot and go for our hamstring stretch. And also it just allows you to hit those workouts so much better. And nobody wants to go through life with back pain. That is no fun. Okay, let's hold on to this, really pull those toes back. All right, we're gonna release that. Get rid of the strap. We'll do more with that on the next couple days. And then we're gonna bring the arms out, legs up to tabletop. Just let those knees fall down to the left as you look over your right shoulder. But try to keep your shoulders open so that they're both down on the mat. And look over your right shoulder. This is a good spinal twist. Okay, let's bring those legs back up and over to the other side. You can always pause the video if you really like this one and just hold it here for as long as you want. All right, let's bring those legs back up. And feel free to stay down on the mat if you want, just relax. I hope that you guys are feeling good after that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow for day 2. All right, I'll see you later.